Imagine this. Someone you trust, someone who laughs at your jokes, who hugs you on your worst days, is quietly rooting for your failure. You share your dreams, your fears, your secrets, never realizing that every word is ammunition. The real danger isn't the enemy at the gate. It's the friend, sitting right beside you, wearing a mask. But how do you spot the betrayal before it destroys you? False friendships are some of the most painful experiences we can face. They're built on a foundation of trust. But beneath the surface, there's envy, resentment, and hidden agendas. Sometimes the signs are subtle: a backhanded compliment, a missed celebration, a secret shared with the wrong person. Other times it's a gut feeling that something just isn't right. In this chapter, we'll explore the warning signs, the emotional toll, and the steps you can take to protect yourself from the heartbreak of betrayal. Are you ready to uncover the truth? Fake friendships rarely begin with cruelty. They begin with comfort, with laughter that feels genuine, with conversations that last for hours, with moments that feel meaningful. That is why they are dangerous, because trust is built long before damage is done. Psychologists describe fake friendships as emotionally parasitic relationships. One person gives, the other feeds, not in obvious ways, but in subtle, slow, invisible ways. The draining does not happen in a single moment. It happens in thousands of small interactions. Small dismissals, small doubts, small disappointments. Over time, these moments accumulate and slowly reshape how you see yourself. Most people stay inside these relationships because manipulation does not feel like manipulation. It feels like concern. It feels like advice. It feels like protection. But underneath, it is control. One of the earliest and most telling signs of a false friend is inconsistent support. At first they seem to cheer you on, especially when your dreams and goals are just distant ideas. They offer encouragement, sometimes even pushing you to aim higher. But as soon as your goals start to become reality, their attitude shifts. Suddenly they seem uncomfortable or even withdrawn. They say they believe in you, but their body language tells a different story. Crossed arms, avoiding eye contact, or a smile that doesn't quite reach their eyes. When you share your progress, their congratulations feel hollow, almost as if they're forcing themselves to be happy for you. The support that once felt genuine now feels conditional, and you start to notice that their enthusiasm fades the closer you get to success. Psychology explains this through social comparison theory. Humans constantly compare themselves to others to measure their worth. A healthy friend feels inspired by your growth, but a fake friend feels exposed by it. Your improvement, honestly, highlights what they are avoiding within themselves. So instead of working on their own life, they attempt to slow yours. Sometimes through jokes, sometimes through discouragement, sometimes through silence. They may say you're changing, but what they really mean is, you're becoming harder to control. Another major sign is conditional loyalty. This is when someone is always there for you during your lowest moments, offering comfort and advice, making you feel like you can rely on them. But pay close attention when things start going well for you, when you begin to succeed or find happiness, their presence fades. They might even seem distant or uninterested in your achievements. Your struggles make them feel important, needed, and in control, but your growth threatens their sense of self-worth. They enjoy being the helper, the advisor, the strong one in your life, but rarely do they celebrate your wins or support your ambitions. Instead of being genuinely happy for you, they may withdraw, unable to handle your success. True loyalty means standing by someone through both the lows and the highs, not just when it serves their ego. The moment you stop needing them, they lose interest. Real friendships are not built on usefulness, they're built on mutual respect. Fake friendships, on the other hand, are built on access to your time, your attention, and your emotional energy. When you begin setting boundaries, they resist, they guilt trip, they accuse, they say you have changed, but boundaries do not change who you are, they reveal who others are. Another hidden pattern is disguised negativity. They frame criticism as honesty. I'm just telling you the truth. I care too much to lie to you. I don't want you to get hurt. But you know, honesty without compassion is cruelty in disguise. Their words plant doubt, not clarity. Slowly, you start questioning your own thoughts. You hesitate before making decisions. You seek external approval, not because you are incapable, but because honestly, someone close to you trained you to doubt yourself. Fake friends often compete with you in silence. They track your progress, they remember your failures, they notice your wins, but, well, they rarely celebrate them. Instead, they minimize, they change the subject, they bring up their own accomplishments, or sometimes, they just disappear. This competition is rooted in insecurity. They admire you, but they also resent you, because your courage highlights their fear, your discipline highlights their avoidance, so instead of becoming better, they try to make you smaller. Another painful truth is that fake friends often use emotional dumping. They constantly talk about their problems, their stress, their chaos. You listen, you support, you advise, you care, but when you need the same, they are unavailable. This creates emotional imbalance. You become the giver, they become the taker. Over time, you feel exhausted, empty, unseen, energy never lies. Your body reacts before your mind understands. You know, a tight chest, a heavy head, and that total lack of motivation after seeing them. These are signals, not coincidences. Fake friends also avoid accountability. When you express hurt, they deflect, they deny, they blame, they twist. They say you are too sensitive, too dramatic, too emotional. This behavior is, honestly, a defense mechanism. Accepting responsibility would threaten their self-image, so they protect their ego by invalidating your feelings. Over time, you stop speaking, not because you are wrong, but because you are just tired. Silence becomes your coping mechanism, but, you know, silence slowly erodes self-respect. You begin tolerating behavior you once promised yourself you never would. So how do you avoid fake friends? You do not chase closure, you do not confront everyone, you observe. Patterns reveal truth. Watch who shows up consistently, watch who celebrates your growth, watch who respects your boundaries, watch who stays when you stop overgiving. Another key strategy is selective vulnerability. Not everyone deserves access to your inner world. Not everyone deserves your fears, your dreams, your insecurities. Share slowly. Let people learn closeness through consistency. Depth should be built over time, not rushed. People who push for instant intimacy often hide unhealthy intentions. One of the hardest truths of adulthood is this: outgrowing people is normal, growth changes frequency, not everyone vibrates at the same level forever. Trying to force alignment only creates suffering. Sometimes, you know, the healthiest choice is just quiet distance, no announcements, no explanations, no fights, just, well, less access, less availability, less emotional exposure, and honestly, more focus on your own life. True friends will not demand you stay small. True friends will not compete with your growth. True friends will not punish you for evolving. They will adapt. They will support. They will respect. Your circle shapes your mindset, your confidence, your future. Choosing who you allow close to you is not selfish. It is in fact survival. Because not everyone who enters your life is meant to stay, and learning when to walk away is not weakness, it is self-respect.